Hi, my name is Ray Madrid, and in this video I want to show you how to install Ruby on Rails, which is the framework that I'm going to be using for my project. Now, this is for school purposes. I'm not going to be showing you how to install it on Windows. This is for the Mac, for OS X. So let's get started. Now, before I install anything, I want to explain that the latest computers from Apple, Apple operating system, they come pre-installed with a Ruby language. To do that, we want to go to our terminal, and we're just gonna type in Ruby -v, which is the version, and it's gonna tell you. Right now, I have version 2.0, but normally they ship with I think is Ruby 1.9.3 or something like that. So in order to install our Rails framework, we're gonna go to this website. Let's go to our Firefox. Go to railsinstaller.org. It's gonna take you to this page that you see here, and you scroll down. There's gonna be this big green button. We're gonna click on that. It's gonna take you to the download. It's gonna give you this file here. I already have it on my desktop. Let me bring this down. This is the icon that I downloaded. Let me go. Oops. Just gonna put my password. I'm gonna run this right quick. English, okay. Rails installer. Now this is where you set up your JIT configuration. For my school, I had to put my name and my school's email. You go through all the steps to install it, and it's gonna have everything ready for you. I'm not gonna do that because I already went through the process. So now that we just went through that process of installing Rails, I want to check that everything runs smooth. So let's go to the terminal and type in Rails-v, which is going to give you the version of the Rails that got installed. Hit enter, and in my machine I have Rails 4.0, but you should have Rails 3.2, which is what the installer gives you. It says right here Rails 3.2, and we also get all this stuff installed. So in order to update to 4.0, what we're gonna type in is, I have it here, it's this right here that you see on the screen. Gem install Rails 4. Wait, I'm not even watching. Version 4.0.0. Now there's no RI, no RDOC right here. This is up to you if you want to put it. That's your documentation. It's better not to type this in, so you won't install the documentation, because that takes a lot of memory from your computer. Otherwise, I mean, you can find the documentation online. So we're gonna install it with it. Put a space here. I'm not gonna run it, but this is what you're supposed to press enter, and what it's gonna do is gonna update 3.2 all the way up to Rails 4.0. So that's how you update. Now that we have Rails updated, let's say we want to start a new app. Let's go into our terminal. Just to make sure, we want to change directory into our root file, so change directory tilde. Okay, and I want to make a new application inside my sites folder. Let me show you. Here's my sites folder, and there's a folder called Rails projects. This is where I'm gonna have my new application installed. So change directory on the on the terminal into the sites folder, and then I'm gonna go inside my Rails projects. I'm gonna go in there, so I'm inside, and in here what you want to do is type this command: Rails new, and the name of the project. In this case, I'm gonna call it dummy app. Hit enter, and what it's gonna do is gonna create all your files. As you can see right here, it created the dummy app, and it created all of this stuff right here. This is the actual framework being installed in my directory here. So you can see inside my apps folder, I got my models, my views, my controller, helpers, mailers, all this stuff that's automatically installed. So it says here on my command prompt, everything's complete. Now what I'm gonna do, Command K to clear out my screen, and I'm gonna go into the folder, the new folder, which is dummy app. I'm gonna go in there, and in order to start your server, now Rails comes with a server. It's called WebRig. In order to start it, all you have to type in is Rails server. Hit enter, and that's it. Now we have our Rails server running right now. This is in port 3000. So if we go into our browser, let me see. I'm gonna make a new window. Local host colon 3000, and we're in. If we see this right here, welcome aboard, you're writing Ruby on Rails, that's because you have installed it. Everything's correct, everything's up and running, and you're good. And if you want to know about what all your information about the Rails that you've installed, all your information is in here. Okay, now let's go into our file. Let me bring this down. Rails project dummy app, and I'm gonna let me reopen a new Sublime file, new window. Just gonna close all this. Sorry about that. Don't save. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is just drag this folder into my Sublime, close this, and here are all my files. Basically we're gonna be working on the app. This is where the main coding goes, where you do most of the work. You got your controllers, your models, and your views. Now I don't have anything here yet. You know, everything's empty. So let's say I just want to do something simple like hello world. Go into our terminal. I'm gonna open up a new tab just to clean things up. This is the server running right now, and I have a new tab. Command K. We want to make sure that we are still inside the sites, inside the actual app that we're in, this directory, dummy app. You want to make sure you're there. If you're not, go in there, and that's how you're gonna start doing the commands for Rails. So first thing I want to do is Rails generate controller. And this controller, I'm gonna call it static. Actually, it's supposed to be caps. Static pages. And then I just want to throw in there an index file. Okay, so this is what you want to, just to start off, you know, something very basic. Rails generate controller static pages index. You could change the static pages to whatever you want to name your controller. I'm just calling it a static page because I'm going to have an index in there. Alright, so run this and it's going to generate. As you can see right here, it's going to give you the feedback. It's going to tell you what it created, where. So it just created some files inside my views. I got my static pages folder, and it created this index right here. Now Ruby on Rails or Rails, it uses the extension index.html.erb. This is what reads embedded Ruby code into the HTML. So I'm just gonna type in an h1 tag. I'm just gonna say hello world. Save it. By the way, it created my static pages controller. It defines the index. It tells there's a route folder, a route file. This is what's gonna generate the direct, like the place where to find that index place, which is gonna be inside static pages / index. So now if I go to my browser, I'm already in localhost 3000 / static pages, and then in there go to the index, hit enter, and I should see the page that I just created, hello world. And there we go. We got something, the basic hello world running inside of Ruby on Rails. Alright, thank you.